Hello everyone and welcome to an incredible game from round 4 of the, or rather from round 5 of this year's FIDE Grand Swiss. It is Arjun Erigaisi versus Nikita Vitiugov, and both of them are doing very well. Obviously, they're meeting on one of the top boards. Arjun started off with a draw against Maxim Chigaev, then 2 wins against Haik Martirosyan and Anton Demchenko, and in round 4 a draw against world champion Gukesh Domaraju. Whereas Nikita Vitiugov, he started off with 2 draws against Yuri Kuzubov and Pranav, and then he rounded up 2 victories against Max Varmerdam and Gilles Moussard. It's a beautiful game, and I think a lot of the decisions in the game are due to the fact that there's a candidate spot on the line here, and all of the games are more fighting than they would usually be. As you can see on the top 10 boards, there were like 7 decisive games. So, okay, let's see what happens. We have knight to f3. So first we start off with Areti, but then d5, pawn to c4, and pawn to e6. We transpose into the Agincourt defense of the English opening, and now pawn to g3. Preparing for the Catalan setup, we have knight to f6, knight f6, bishop to g2, bishop to e7, and both players castles. So castles, and now pawn to d4, transposing into the closed Catalan. D captures on c4, and we have the open defense, the classical line of the Catalan, where there are, as we know, thousands and thousands of games in the database. We have knight to e5. Knight to c6, and now knight captures and bishop captures are the most played moves here. Sometimes knight to c3 is played. Arjun opts for bishop captures and c6, and it looks odd giving up your strong Catalan bishop like this, but it is a very well analyzed line, and of course it is correct. B captures, we have knight captures, queen e8, knight captures with check, queen captures, and queen to a4. Again, nothing new here. You can see the situation on the clocks. Both of them are just blitzing out moves. And pawn to e5. A first thing from Nikita, spending some 8 minutes on this move, which I think also could be the reason for Arjun's next decision. We have d captures, queen captures, and now almost everyone plays queen captures on c4. Very rarely knight to c3 is played. But here Arjun plays rook to e1, which has been played only once. In 2019, Hikaru Nakamura played it against Wesley So in the US Chess Championship, and their game ended in a draw. But I would say there is no way that you're prepared for this move. So here we have queen to c5. Again, spending some 9 minutes, obviously no longer in preparation, defending the c4 pawn, and the queen is, we could say, out of harm's way. And if bishop to e3, which seems like the most likely choice, then maybe something like queen h5, the bishop comes to b7, you can threaten checkmate, so white will have to weaken his king side. And okay, a lot to play for here. And of course, it is now as of move 13 that we have a completely new game. So that's exactly what happens. Arjun goes for bishop to e3, queen to h5, and now pawn to f3. So bishop to b7 will not be as useful, but this also means that the bishop on e3 has been weakened. So Nikita uses that to remaneuver the queen. Queen e5 comes with a double attack here. We have bishop to f2 and queen captures on b2, followed by knight to a3. So Nikita is now up a pawn, but it's a double c pawn, and we know from experience that a double c pawn, when playing against the Catalan, isn't the most impressive thing in the world. We have bishop d7 attacking the queen, and Arjun just captures the pawn back. Knight captures on c4, and you could just trade queens and be done with it. But I think being, having the candidate spot on the line, Nikita's decision is more than expected. He plays queen captures on a1. He gives up the queen for 2 rooks, and of course queen to a3. Queen a5 also possible. Now the queen is trapped, and you have to capture on e1. There's no other way. So queen captures on e1, bishop captures, and bishop to b5. We have queen to c5, putting pressure on the bishop, and rook 8 to b8, just defending. And it seems like you could pick up the c7 pawn, but then rook c8, you lose the knight. And if you go for a queen captures on a7, the knight obviously is still hanging. So bishop to c3 with some ideas of capturing on f6, which would ruin black's king side. Rook f to e8. And now, okay, rook captures on e2, and then the b file, if it opens up, you could easily get checkmated here. So you have to defend against that. And while king f2 is a viable move, knight to f3 by Arjun. He wants to keep the knight in the game. and also maybe keep chances of pressuring the black king. With bishop captures on e2, the most precise move, even though it looks maybe a little bit too active, but you have nothing to improve. The rooks are on open lines, the knight is beautifully placed on f6, grabbing a pawn seems like the way to go. King to f2, and now again, if Nikita was satisfied with a draw, he could just move the bishop and then something like captures, and okay, you play this. The queen and knight are a very deadly combo, but so is the rook pair accompanied by a bishop with the king on an open board. So maybe the way to go. But after king f2, rook to b5 by Nikita, we have queen captures on a7, and now bishop to d3. Bishop captures on f6, g captures, and now there is one move that could be particularly painful for Nikita if Arjun finds it. Maybe it's the first move you're looking at, maybe it's not. So what do you play here? Feel free to pause the video and try to find the only path to victory while I give you a couple of seconds. When you have the queen with so many options, always look to centralize, and that is the move. Queen to d4. And for a lot of reasons, you're attacking the bishop, you're attacking the f6 pawn, but also you're threatening knight to d5, which will just be deadly. Look at this knight c7 fork, look at this knight f6 fork. It's a dark square, the light square bishop is useless, and Nikita completely missed this. He played bishop to g6 because you have to defend the bishop. Now comes knight d5. We have rook to a8, hoping for a fork here. But if knight captures on c6, then rook captures on a2 comes with check, and now it's the white who will fight for survival. Rook e5 check, and this is not good for white. So after rook a8, knight captures on f6 check, king to f8, and now look at the scope of Arjun's precision here. This is amazing. Pawn to a4. So rook a2 will no longer be a threat, and you just prepare knight d7, and that's it. And you want that rook on a5. Other than a5, I mean, if black doesn't go rook a5, that rook will be useless. So rook b to a5, and now look at this, knight d5. Controlling e7, threatening queen to h8, checkmate. And the problem is you can't just go back. If you just go king g8, then knight e7 check, king to f8, and knight to c6, threatening again checkmate, and you pick up the rook on the next move. So Nikita's next move is expected. Rook captures on d5. We have queen to h8 check, another precise move. You could capture on d5 and still win the game, but there's no reason to do that. Queen to h8 check is more precise. You capture on a8, and then you have no worries in the world. King e7, queen captures on a8. Now it's rook and bishop versus queen, but also, I mean, you just get the king to a safe square and you escort the pawn to victory. That's pretty much all there is to it. Rook d2 check with king to e3, rook to d3 check, king e2, and now rook to a3. Queen to c6. You could also start advancing the pawn. Arjun wants to, give his opponent zero counter chances whatsoever. Rook a2 check. We have king to d1, and he was in this position on move 37 that Nikita Vitiugov resigned to the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. Point being, you can give those few checks that everyone gives before they lose the game. Rook e1 check, rook e2 check, king to e3, rook e3 check once king f4 is played, no more checks, and now you just, prepare the escort. Queen c5 check, a5, let's say queen b5, and however you want to win this, every move, literally every move is winning here for white. So yeah, beautifully played by both of them. Props to Nikita for going for queen captures on a1. It is definitely the way to go, because if you just make safe draws, you're not going to win that candidate spot, and it is necessary to play like this. Even though you're facing Arjun, and even though you might lose the game, that is the way to play. And of course, congratulations to Arjun for taking everything from the position, taking his chances, and winning the game this nicely. Now we finally have the standings. Yesterday I couldn't show them to you because Yaus Khan's game against Notre Dame lasted over 8 hours. I think 8 hours and 20 minutes and 190 moves. That is, I mean, absolutely sensational. In the end, it ended in a draw, and these are the standings after round 5. So still, Parham Maksudlu sole first place with 4.5 points. Then with 4 points, Abhimanyu Mishra, Marc-Andrea Maurizi, Arjun Erigaisi, and Matthias Blubaum with 3.5 points. A whole lot of people. Yaus Khan, Shimon Gumularz, Pranav, Alireza Firuj, Norbek Abdusatorov, Maxim Rothstein, Anish Giri, Shahriar Mamedjarov, Nihal Sarin, Amin Tabatabai, and Nodirbek Abdusatorov. No, sorry, Nodirbek Yakuboev Abdusatorov is number 10. Then with 3 points, Anton Demchenko, Ivan Chaparinov, Robert Hovhannisyan, Abhimanyu Puranik, Vasily Ivanchuk also doing quite well, especially after saving that draw against Vidit. That was, a fight of a lifetime. Alexei Shirov, world champion Gukesh Domaraju also on 3 points. Mateusz Bartel, Ihor Samonekov, Pragnananda after losing that game to Matthias Blubaum drops also to number 26. Vincent Keimer, Levon Arunyan, Nikita Vitiugov, and Richard Rapport. So as you can see, the youngsters are doing incredibly well. There are no rest days here, so it's good to be young. But Parham also, he's not old, but he's not young as some of these guys here, and doing incredibly well. So we'll see what happens. The next round also gives us some exciting pairs. We can even check out what are the pairings of the next round. Let me just check real quickly. Oh no, we still don't have the pairs. So I'll keep you guys informed. So that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Brilliant stuff by Arjun. As usual, the other Indian grandmasters didn't have that much luck in round 5, as Gukesh and Pragnananda both lost their games. And this is an exciting tournament. Very happy to cover it. Use that hashtag suggestion, and I will cover your games. If I don't make the full video, at least I can make a short with some cool positions. So I hope you enjoyed it. I would like to thank Christian Fisher, Carmen Polifronio, Austin Wheeler, Ali Yurkoglu, and Joseph McCardle for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day. And if you still haven't, download Lotus Chess. First link in the description below. Learn how to play fighting chess and crush your opponents. See you soon.